This is the fifth video of C++ programming, and we're gonna dive into object-oriented programming from this video. So, and the topic is how we define and use class. Yeah. So let us first try to define a class called named point. So I'm gonna define a class named point, and this class um, deals with the storing the information of a point in the coordinate, right? So it should have x coordinate and y coordinate, and it should also have some um, accessing method as well. So class is like a group of information. Like you can, you know, um, make a group that deals with point in this case, but it's not just a group of information. Yeah, you're gonna see as you working on the class. So let's um, yeah start creating the class point. So the very first thing that you have to put is this class symbol, and following that, you write um, any name that you want to use for the class. And in this case, I named this class as point. And so as I said, this class should have some information of the x coordinate and y coordinate. So in this class, I declare or define x, and I initialize it with 1.0, and also we need point y, and just initialize it with any number you want. And so it's already a class, so you're gonna end the class with semicolon. You should remember that. And it's already a class, and in the class you um, have some types of um, um, memory access, no, sorry, accessing um, level. So um, there is private, right? Private means that you can access these variables only within the class. So you can't access these variables directly from another domains, like from this main function. You can't access directly to these variables. And there is also another type called accessing type called public. Public means private. Private and public. So public method can be accessed by anyone from anywhere. So you can access and modify the variable x and y if it's under public. If it's under the public, then you can modify x and y from main function. But in this case, because x and y are under private, so you can't access from main. Yeah. So um, you know, so let us instantiate. Instantiate means creating the object of the class. I will show you just, yeah, I think that helps you to understand what I mean. So this is how you instantiate an object of point class. I named it as point one. So I just create one point, yeah, and because we defined x and y as 1.0 and 2.0 in the class, so it's automatically assigns value 1.0, 2.0 for x and y. So this point should have x equals 1.0 and y equals 2.0. But you know, we can't access x and y, right, from main function. So we have to define some method that you can access, or you can get at least the value of 1.0, or no, the value of x and y from main function, right? So for that purpose, we gonna define a function in the public as public accessing type, and I'm gonna define a function get x that returns x, and also get y that returns y. So by doing that like this, you know, because this, get x and get y methods are in the point class, right? So they can access x and y even though they are private, because they are um, they are the methods in the point. All right. So and also you should note that these methods are public, so you can use these methods from main function. So that means now you can get the value of x and y from main function. So let's see if it really works as we expect. Yeah, as you see, now we get the x coordinate of point 1 as 1 and y1 equals 2. Yeah, as we define here, right? So by doing so, yeah, you can obtain the value, the private value, yeah, using some get methods under public. So the one of the reason that we use private is that um, you can it's called encapsulation of the yeah encapsulation of the data. So you can protect this data from from access from other classes or other um, other people. So if you wanna protect some variables, or yeah, you don't want to give some um, access to these variables, then you should make it private. Yeah, it also helps you that any you know mistakes that you may make um, let's say, you know, if you can modify these values from main function, um, and let's assume that, many people access this class point, right? Then, you know, anyone can modify these values, and it makes, things very complicated, right? So, um, just make sure that, these variables behave as expected. You can make them private. Yeah, about this encapsulation, yeah, we can discuss about it more in another video. And there are other accessing type like um, uh, protect, was it protect? Yeah. So there are, yeah, also other accessing types. So um, yeah, you will know uh, in the future. So now we discussed the basics of class, and we have to talk about one another, yeah, important feature of the class, that is constructor. Yeah, constructor. So constructor is uh, just a moment. You can define the constructor like this, and what it does is, when you instantiate the class, constructor is called, and um, the operation that is defined in the constructor is executed when you instantiate an object. So, for as an example, to know if it really, if if how how the constructor works, you can test like this. Oops. So um, now I put printing um, printing to the console, which says constructor is called. So um, now you can check if it constructor is really called when we instantiate an object here. Now you see, yeah, constructor is called. So yeah, again, yeah, when you instantiate an object of class, first of all, the constructor is automatically called, and yeah, it executes any operation that is defined in the constructor first. So this is the constructor, and you can overload the constructor as well. I hope you remember overloading from the previous video, and we can do something like this. So we define some parameters, right? Yeah. So this means, if we instantiate an object with some parameters, um, let's say like, oh, sorry, minus 1.0 and 5.0. Yeah. Oh, yeah, like this. Then this constructor is called, from the rule of overloading. The compiler knows which function to be called depending on parameter or data type. And because we put two parameters, this constructor is called because it has two parameters as an input, right? And within the constructor, I modify x as given x and y as given y. So yeah, so now point one should have minus one and 5 instead of 1 and 2, right? If it really works. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Yeah, now you see x1 equals minus 1 and y1 equals 5. So we got it. So this is how the class works. I know it's a bit complicated and it will take time to comprehend how the class works, but I recommend that you just try to make a class by yourself and um, play around with it, and so that you will know how it works. Yeah. Okay, so if you have any question about the contents, please leave it in the comments, and I'm gonna cover another topic of object-oriented programming, yeah, more advanced theme of classes and so on in the following video. So see you again in the next video.